All right, everybody. So, for those of you guys that don't know, I have this tendency to basically detect cringe in popular lefty content creators before anybody else can. It is both a blessing and a curse. Because if I ever express my suspicion that a popular lefty content creator is cringe, regardless of how correct I am, regardless of how correct I know I am, I will usually get shit for daring to, criticize another lefty figure, despite the fact I am constantly under assault from other lefty figures on the daily. Now, a while ago, a fairly popular lefty video essayist who I actually really liked. I actually discovered this video essayist, Mr. Beard, when I was playing Rust. I was just playing Rust, going like goblin mode on there, and I was looking for some video essay content to grind out and listen to while playing the game. And Mr. Beard's content came up, and the topic in question seemed interesting to me. And I decided to watch the video. I liked Mr. Beard's content, and I ended up following them and continuing to eventually talk to them and have a pretty decent correspondence with them, going forward from there. They've even hung out in my chat a few times, and I've even defended them during certain dramas that have happened before that they've been involved in, like when they're getting attacked by right wingers for like being anti-fat phobia and stuff. Basically, something happened that I actually don't remember. I think it had something to do with maybe even it might have been the Soul Bunny drama. It might have been more recent. I don't remember what it was, but for some reason, there was some drama, there was some discourse, and me and Mr. Beard had a disagreement. And the take that Mr. Beard had was so bad, so volatilely cringe to me, I elected that I was going to unfollow them. And when I unfollowed Mr. Beard, they had a bit of a disproportionate angry reaction, but it wasn't the worst I've ever seen. Like, it certainly wasn't shoe on head tier. Yeah, it certainly wasn't shoe on head tier. We need some high level horde players here to wipe these alliance out. Anyway, it certainly wasn't it wasn't like shoe on head's like video and getting mad about me. Like, it wasn't anything to that degree, but they were clearly a little bit upset about me. Unfollowing them and disagreeing with them on that. But I just kind of we just moved on, I just kind of went my own way and they went theirs, I assume. And I didn't really feel the need to condemn Mr. Beard as far as being a public figure. I just thought they had a cringe take. But apparently Vaush has burnt the bridge. Vaush once again has copied me, and has burnt the bridge months after I burned the bridge, it's just Xander Hall clone Vaush. Nah, just kidding. No, but I'm curious to see why he did that and what led to it, because I have no idea what happened. I think it was because they had cringe takes about the Soul Bunny stuff. That's what I would guess, considering that's the most current, recent drama that I know they've been involved in. They're mad Vaush is white. That is true. He is white. I met him in real life, and he's white in real life, too. It's pretty unfortunate.
You guys remember how I had a good conversation with Ryan Beard a while ago? Well, following all of this drama with Shark, where a bunch of the worst humans in the online left
it is about the Soul Bunny
sending
stuff.
death threats to me and Shark, and saying that Shark was a house N-word and a C slur. I can't even say these words. Ryan Beard took it upon himself to be some kind of neutral arbiter to mend the gaps between me and the worst people on Earth. So a while ago, he made this big post, which was basically I think that Vaush should work to get along with these people, even though Vaush has bad opinions and blah, blah. But I had a good convo with Ryan.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was, part of why I unfollowed Mr. Beard. I think it had something to do with the insistence that, I needed to form a level of, camaraderie with these people that have wanted to destroy my career and my reputation and have lied about me and slandered me in order to do so. I'm pretty sure it was something along the lines of that made me unfollow Mr. Beard. If anyone wants to go back into like my Twitter history and find out exactly like when Mr. Beard tweeted about that, it'll probably be easy to find out exactly why, but like I genuinely don't even remember because I have developed a very important skill, and that skill is to completely scrub my brain of all this dumb fucking internet shit as soon as I get off the internet. So I genuinely do not remember why I unfollowed Mr. Beard, but I remember that it was for some. I know it was for a good reason. I remember that.
Beard before, so I DM'd him, and we've been talking on and off for like a week. Like a lot of words exchanged. More from him than from me, because maybe he types faster than I do. I type pretty slow, so I tend not to type that much. But we've talked like a lot, and then just randomly, he does this totally unsolicited public post again, where he's like,
Oh, this.
okay, just read this and see if you can like pick at the tone, okay?
I
My
saw
actual
this.
final statement on
Okay.
the Vaush situation. After having conversations with both Vaush and some critics of Vaush, it's abundantly clear that Vaush sees his critics as abusive reactionaries, and they see Vaush as a racist white supremacist, and neither side seems interested in building bridges with the other side whatsoever. And you know what? Sometimes
Spineless.
that's how life goes. Sometimes groups of people just have irreconcilable differences. Unfortunately, this means I doubt this leftist infighting will end anytime soon. I told Vaush that I think he should have more empathy for the experiences of black people, and he said that I have too much empathy. If he has really doubled down on thinking all these black people are reactionaries, I love his framing. It's so honest.
Oh
It's
my
so
god.
honest. If he's really doubled down on thinking all these black
No,
people
Mr.
are reactionary,
Beard.
yeah, thank you, who don't deserve empathy. Yeah, don't deserve empathy. That's what I mean when I say too much empathy. Then there's not much to say at that point. It makes me sad, but hey, I tried my best. As for people who aren't Vosh, I think having empathy and compassion for oppressed groups is important. For oppressed groups. So notice we've taken like a comment about a small group of people, and now it's like I lack empathy for all black people. Even if you disagree with some of their opinions, if you disagree with some black separatist opinion, that's fine, but I don't think it's fine to label them as black supremacist Nazis, say they deserve no empathy, and no matter.
I think it was this tweet from you, Zan. Oh, it's a suspended account. The account's suspended, but it was somebody who is like criticizing me for calling out Lance, and I quote tweeted them saying, making a video in support of an abuser, backing up their claims about their victims and maligning said victims as liars when all the receipts say otherwise, is not quote unquote just being a nice guy who tries to keep out of drama and be friendly to both sides. Nah, it might not have been that though. I feel like this is too recent. I'm pretty sure this was a while ago. Pretty sure it was a while ago that I burnt the bridge with Mr. Beard, like maybe over a month ago.
What side you're on, all the petty insults and death threats and harassment are helping no one. The death threats are coming from the other side, and even he admitted that in DMs. I like how he's like, I want to build the bridge between these two groups, does nothing but criticize me, and then at the end, the one thing that he privately was willing to criticize the other side on, he just abstracts into the general infighting. Even if Vosh isn't interested, even if Vosh isn't interested, I'm interested in continuing to build bridges between various leftist communities. Except the other side also said they don't want to build bridges. So why the is he saying he?
So, I think it's pretty clear at this point that effectively Vaush's existence has acted as a schism within the left. And he's basically like people's opinion on Vaush has unironically become a litmus test between like the lefties who believe things like what Jesse Gender said, the left, like it's not about winning, like what Jesse Gender said, and people who actually care about like the end result of political like action. Yeah, the Linus test. Um, like the people who decide that their time and effort would be better spent complaining about a live streamer saying the R slur and supposedly being transphobic because of a Nazi video that was like cobbled together after they lost a debate. Um, like you would think that people who actually cared about any of this shit and actually like cared about winning or like the outcomes of any of this of their actions and the political implications of them would like, you know, not behave the way they do. You would think, right? And then you've got people on the other side of things who are just generally more chill, less like prone to attacking people over nothing. Generally a little bit more agreeable. People try to claim that I jump down people's throats, but every time there ends up being some big drama like this, barring like the Merrick thing, I always end up being right. Like, whenever there's drama with, like, a left... Like, I got shit for calling FD Signifier a dumb fuck. For months, I got shit for calling FD Signifier a dumb fuck. And now look where we are. I got shit for months for calling Noah Samson a dumb fuck, too. Look at where we're at now. It's just, I cannot take seriously people who say that I jump the gun when it comes to my judgments of these people. Like, I've hung out with Vaush. He's a cool guy. He's chill. He's a nice dude. He is not evil. He is not racist. He's not grifting about his beliefs. I know that this shit is deranged. But what really concerns me more is the fact that people like this have decided that they want to come together and create a segment of the left that is entirely focused on purity testing and attacking other aspects of the left. There was a time where the woke scold sphere of the internet, like the woke scold sphere of Twitter, was just incessantly attacking every video essayist lefty figure as well, like H-Bomber Guy, ContraPoints, Philosophy Tube. They were all getting torn apart by the woke scold types on Twitter. But then eventually they realized the only way to stop this from happening to them is to acquiesce. And that's what they did. They didn't just acquiesce insofar as, like, agreeing with what those people said and just kind of, like, you know, running with what they said and pretending like they were wrong and like they're sorry. Instead, it's, I'm going to divert my attention to hating the people they hate. We literally got a fucking ContraPoints video on Vaush. I just remember that. It actually happened. The meme, that one meme that people were joking about where it's the ContraPoints video called Vaush, it fucking happened. It actually happened. Because they realized the only way to appease the goddamn hyenas trying to disembowel them at every turn for every perceived, moral shortcoming, they realize the only way to avoid that is to hate and attack the same people those people hate and attack, to become part of the woke scold mob. Wild.
Here, oh, yeah, I just want to build a bridge between these two groups. If only Vaush would change his mind on the situation, and Vaush wouldn't do this or that, and Vaush's opinions on this are bad, and if Vaush doesn't want to do... Holy shit, this spineless worm, I could fold him into a pretzel. He has no spine. And then I responded, holy shit, dude, I spend literal days talking to you in DMs and explaining my positions and reasoning, and all I get out of it is you making another weird call-out post where you willfully strip the context from something I said to you privately. I said a small group of abusive losers had taken advantage of your empathy and gotten you to give undue credence to their terrible arguments. To summarize that as me saying you have, quote, too much empathy for the experience of black people is so dishonest, you snake, fuck off. If anybody wants to know, like, people
Spicy.
are like, dude, why don't you settle this in private? I try to settle it.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
These people are snakes. Trust me. Nothing that you can do will change the way that these people see you, okay? These same people fucking hate me for a lot of the same reasons they fucking hate Vaush. And there's nothing you can do to change their minds. They just despise us. There's nothing you can really do to change their minds. They came up with their reasons for why a long time ago, and most of those reasons they won't be forthcoming about. They've come up with a lot of other excuses for why they hold those opinions, but generally it's not the reason that is actually why they dislike like lefty streamed content. Because it's usually like the lefty streamed content is where they draw the line. It feels like it's a schism, mostly on the grounds of like live streamed content and video essay content. I don't know. Maybe the disconnect is because people who live stream are more likely to understand why like someone like Vaush would have as many like controversies as he does, because live streaming is hard. And, like, talking for hours and hours and hours on end without saying something someone can clip out of context to try to spread lies about you is basically impossible. And so streamers are pretty used to, like, hearing the craziest fucking rumors and lies about other streamers and being like, I'm gonna look into this before I believe it, you know? But when it comes to these video essayists who are supposed to be trustworthy in regards to their research and their academic rigor, they'll just fly with whatever rumor they heard on Twitter. Mostly because it's convenient for them to believe it.
Go privately to people, and I spend like days and hours talking with them to try to like bring about any kind of resolution, and it never changes anything. The like slimy fucking, not only to leak the content of DMs, I talk with Vaush and he said this, but then to lie about it? Like, I think in the DMs I said, I think you have too much empathy for these people, meaning the specific group of people we were talking about. Any interpretation of that as like all black people is willfully dishonest because I'm not even...
It's so sad. I really liked Mr. Beard's content. Like, I stumbled across it while I was playing Rust, and I actually, like, it was one of the... I think it's pretty rare to be able to be friends with a YouTuber who you presently really enjoy the content of and watch on a regular basis. And I really did enjoy Mr. Beard's content. And I considered Mr. Beard a friend, but, like, the clear... I think it's gotten to the point where this side of like, Twitter and YouTube and the internet has so clearly indicated their vitriolic hate for basically anyone in this sphere of content creation, that the idea that you would imply that any of us, me, Keffels, Demon Mama, Vaush, that any of it, or Shark, any of us should like try to build a bridge with these people, that is a very, very severe shortcoming in regards to your like ability to process social occurrences to the extent that it actually terrifies me for your ability to hold friendships and relationships.
Referring to black people there. I'm referring to like this nebulous group of like abusive online people. And I'm pretty sure he responded by saying, haha, yeah, too much empathy can be a problem. So in private, he like fully got the point. But like now he forgets that. What a fucking worm, dude. What a spineless piece of shit. I give way. The same thing happened with Noah Samson, by the way. Noah Samson made the first video I saw from Noah Samson was one in which he said my content.
All right, I see why you guys wanted me to watch this video so bad now. I see why you guys wanted me to watch this so bad now, because he's just dunking on all my enemies. Okay, pretty based. Pretty based.
That was good. And then that spineless fucking worm made a follow-up because some people were like, actually, Vaush is bad. So he made an entire next video where he's like, okay, I retract my position. These guys are actually pretty bad, you know? Then he made a video that was basically just a hit piece on me and Zan, which sucked so badly that he walked it all back when talking to me privately, except for the one faux pas, the one thing that the white self-hating leftists can't get over, defending Professor Flowers. You know, you could show them, like, Professor Flowers saying, I think it's acceptable to ethnically cleanse all white people in South Africa, like, verbatim, and they'll go like, I don't think she meant that. He literally, like, you remember the conversation, right? We like looked at clips where she said unambiguously the thing he was saying she didn't say, and he's like, no, I don't. Nah, that was fake.
The problem is that a shit ton of lefties unironically just think it is fundamentally morally different for like a minority group that historically, like Professor Flowers and that sphere of LeftTube unironically follow like the original sin mindset. They unironically believe that the, like, if you are someone who exists in a country because of the colonialist imperialist actions of your great, you know, grandparents or whatever, like, literally generations of your family have lived in a country, but, you know, generations and generations ago, you know, your ancestors were, you know, colonizers or whatever. They believe that your current occupation, quote unquote, of that land is a modern day crime. It is a crime that you are perpetuating from your ancestors, and that if you do not like leave and return the land to its proper, it's a very, basically it's the idea that like any action taken violently or otherwise against these oppressors, and the oppressors are people whose great-great-grandparents were the actual oppressors, by the way. It is, in their mind, morally different to hold genocidal or straight-up, like, separationist, segregationist, or racist, just generally, beliefs towards those groups, because in their mind, racism or bigotry in general isn't just bigotry, it's prejudice plus power, is what they see it as. If you're not the one in power, then you can't be bigoted. Your bigotry is actually justified. It is actually a justifiable righteous anger if you're bigoted against the group that's previously oppressed you, in their view.
Fake. That was that was an illusion. That was a mass hallucination. Like, what do I do with these people? And then like a couple weeks ago, he's liking tweets saying I need to be killed. But I talked to him privately for a long time too.
Dude.
People like, oh, why don't you settle things in private? I never burn bridges. It literally just does not happen. Okay, it doesn't happen. I try so fucking hard to reach out to people and to engage with them. It does not matter. The funny thing is like sometimes I bounce around Twitch and look for smaller streamers to chill in the chats of, because it's kind of fun, right? Because I get to say hi, and then they're like, "Is that the real Vaush?" Because it's fun, like, you know. And a lot
I
of
do that
people get
sometimes.
suspicious of me when I'm there because they think I'm there like looking for.
Dude, I was running a random dungeon in WoW Retail once, and somebody in the dungeon saw my username because my username was Xanderhall, and they were like, "Wait, are you the real Xanderhall?" And I whispered them in game. 2 words or 3 words. Check my Twitter. And you know what I tweeted? And if you ever see me tweet something like this, you know I just ran into somebody who recognized me in a game. I tweeted, someone just recognized me in a random dungeon queue for WoW Retail. And they were like, whoa, no way! It's always so fun whenever I run into someone who recognizes me in a game, and they ask like, are you real? And I use my Twitter, I tweet something, and then like tell them to check my Twitter to prove it's me.
Content or looking for a debate, which I'm not. Like last night, it was 3 a.m. I was playing Zelda. I was just like looking for just something to listen to, you know, because I already listened to Joseph Anderson for 16 hours a day, so I got, you know, I gotta bring it out a little bit. And it was just so funny to me because people think that like I'm always like crawling around for debates. I am so averse to like digging for content that I don't even like reach out to challenge people for debates. I don't email people, like, for the most part. I'm trying to get better at that. I don't like go out of my way to like choose people to be the victims of my negative attention. But meanwhile, like every other duplicitous fucking worm, snake, spineless piece of shit, when they do pretend to engage with me fairly and on equal terms, are only doing it so they can like placate me, right? Because the Noah Samson thing, the only reason he was talking to me privately was so he could placate, to like, I don't know, try to what, lure me into a false sense of security before making another dogshit video on me. It's insane.
The
They're
crazy
so
thing is
weak. They're
the crazy thing as well is that Noah Samson, after like debating Vaush, took his video down, his hit piece video on me and like a couple other content creators. He took the video down, and he had it down for like a couple months. I think it was like a month and a half, 2 months maybe, and then just out of nowhere one day just republished it and made it public. Apparently he like edited 1 or 2 like minutes out of the video at some points, but all the parts about me specifically were completely intact. He didn't change any of the lies or like slander he said about me. I'm glad he got a lot of shit for that video. I literally still to this day get his fans commenting Squid Gang on that video. And I can't really be mad because it increases the SEO. But at the same time, it's like, man, there are still people out there stumbling across that video and believing lies about me, you know? Like sorry, not DJ Mule. Noah Samson basically just did what DJ Mule did, but a little bit more charismatically. Like, a lot of people on the left, for some reason, will just, like, turn their brain off and listen to anything that a guy with a mustache tells them. I'm not kidding, by the way. There is, like, a brain poison among lefties, particularly lefty women, that makes dudes with mustaches just... They say something, and they turn their brain off and are like, yeah, okay, it sounds right to me. Mustache man says so.
I could crush all of these people. They're Newtonian fluids. If you dropped Ryan
Zan, grow out your mustache more? Dude, I could have, like, one of those stupid fucking dad mustaches in, like, a week if I wanted to. If I just shaved everything here. Okay. Do you guys want to know the sad reality of being a lefty guy? Alright? There are 2 ways to become sexually attractive to lefty women as a lefty guy, okay? Or there's actually 3 ways. The third way is to be a Nazi. But the second way is to be a femboy. And the first way is to grow out the stupid mustache and possibly even the mullet too. The mustache mullet combo for like maximum effect. I really do hate it. It's possibly one of the worst trends I've seen in like modern Zoomer internet history. Although this is more of a millennial trend, actually. This is like people getting into their late 20s and early 30s thing. I think. Yeah, I do despise it, and I'm almost like dedicated to not getting the mustache. Like, I'm almost dedicated to refusing to like have that stupid fucking mustache because I feel like that's like joining in, you know? It's like I'm acquiescing to the brain rot. I don't want to do it. Dye your hair blonde again? I definitely do plan to do that. I like having like a. I wish I'd shaved today so it was a bit more like stubbly. I like having a short stubble like all the way around, you know? Ideally filled in like pretty cleanly. That's my ideal facial hair. I don't like having it too long, and I'm fine with having it completely shaved clean because I've got a pretty strong jawline, and it kind of reveals it more. But I like a little bit of facial hair, just not too much.
Beard and Noah Samson and all these people into a container, they would slowly but surely just sort of pulp down into a semi-solid homogenate. They're nothing.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
they'd melt.
The main thing that bugs me is when people say I need to reach. That's what bothers me, because you guys do that too sometimes. That bothers me. You can accuse me of being abrasive because I obviously am, but the idea.
You motherfuckers do that to me too. You guys gave me that shit nonstop when I was calling out Lance's abuse apologia. And victim attacking, sorry. Not even just abuse apologia, but victim attacking.
That I'm like
You attack the
produce some
victims too.
kind of obstruction to engagement or conversation is factually incorrect. Remember the insane effort we tried to privately have things with Noah and the end? He said it was for PR. Like, what? Yeah, these people are horrible. They're horrible pieces of shit.
True.
Vaush, you caught strays multiple times in Noah's new vid. Who cares? It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, I need to be told by you guys that these people are obsessing over me. I'm their fucking nightmares. For no reason, mind you. I'm not, like, these guys wake up sweating about the engagement they might get from me. When they put stuff about me in their videos, they're like, all right, they're like full on, full blast, all mods, get ready, everyone. Maybe something happens, maybe it doesn't. I don't really care about them that much, but nothing they do affects me, and it never has. It's been 4 years of this nonstop. It doesn't affect me. I just grow larger and larger. It doesn't matter. They like quiver in their boots, and I know it brings them like a great deal of insecurity and fear when they do stuff like this, because to them it's out of character, right? I bet these people think day to day they're pretty nice people, and they're not. They're probably abusive. They're probably horrible people to the people they know in real life.
True.
And that's
Yeah,
why it's like the
they usually
Illuminati
are.
stuff, right? Like when you hear about like this, oh, well, I thought they were such a nice person. Nah, not really. But then you know,
Yep.
whenever I engage online,
Yep.
whenever I do this stuff, whenever I go online and have disagreements with people, nothing here feels unnatural for me. This is just a logical procession of like being correct and going online and people disagree with you. I don't have to make an effort to do any of this. It comes easily to me. You know? It's so easy. But it's not easy for them. It causes them great suffering because they're acting against their nature, all right? We're going back to like ancient Greek philosophy on this, all right? It is in the prerogative of all living things to act according to their nature, all right? And my nature is to go online and be right all the time, relentlessly, without stopping, all the time, in perfect fashion. And
That's
their
actually my
nature
job,
is to
but,
be
you know,
put into a
close.
container so they can sort of blend together in a soup-like homogenate as their Newtonian bodies.
Now, I legitimately just I do think that a big part of why like me, Demon Mama, Keffels, Shark, Vosh, etc. Like the reason why we get along so well is obviously we agree on a lot, but like I disagree with Demon Mama on things sometimes. Like I know Vosh and Demon Mama have disagreed on stuff. Keffels and Vosh have disagreed on stuff. I think I've disagreed on stuff with Keffels too. Like we disagree on stuff all the time. I've debated Vosh like twice before on stream on topics. Like there's been cases where we disagree on things. The difference is that when there's a disagreement, it's not because like one of us thinks the other is like a bad person for daring to like have an opinion that's different on something. Like it, yeah, like people like paint this really bizarre picture, but like just acting like a normal adult human being that can handle the smallest amount of like disagreement and like turbulence in a social interaction really does go a long way. And the really big difference between, I think, like people like Vaush and people like Mr. Beard and Noah Sampson is they lack that ability. They lack those fundamental skills of like basic adult human social interaction. And they react to everything like it's internet drama, even when it's in private between two people talking and trying to hash it out. They react like it's public internet drama still. It's very, it's very telling.
Kind of flow and eventually become a surface that you can kind of walk on if you move quickly, but, you know, you've all seen the starch water videos. So frustrating. Very frustrating. I hope for better from them. I hope they meet at one point. I hope they in a dream they meet with God and God tells them what a fucking dick they're being. It's probably better just to cut off from all these people. Well, I'll talk to anyone. I don't care. I've talked like cordially to people that you guys would probably hate, that I know you guys hate. I don't care. I'll have a pleasant conversation with anyone. You know, I'm like that. That's the thing that makes me think like they suffer. You know what I mean? I can talk to anyone. They are seething and crying and shitting themselves through any kind of engagement. Life brings them pain, you know? They're like that SpongeBob guy with all the glass bones. A lot of it is I feel that a lot of neurotypical people just innately detest autistic people for existing. No. To be fair, I do catch like ableist strays now and again, but even if I wasn't autistic, I would probably be just as, if not more, abrasive than I am now. And
it's not them being ableist, it's just them being tribalistic. Like, a lot of the things the right accuses the left of, if we're ever true about the left, they are true of the woke scold sphere. Being progressive does not instantly, like, cause you to be washed with light from the heavens that cures you of all mortal sins. Like, you instantly become a nice person because you have progressive values. You instantly become generous and caring and you know, compassionate. No, there are tons of spiteful, manipulative, narcissistic, abusive pieces of shit on the left. There are a lot of people like that. Progressive, not being racist and not being transphobic does not negate the possibility of you being a piece of shit still. And that's really what it is at the end of the day. A lot of people in the lefty content consumption sphere, so you guys, a lot of you guys kind of exist under a sort of, whether you realize it or not, sort of the assumption that someone having progressive politics must mean they're a good person. And that's why when something comes out about a lefty figure that you like, because of their politics, it's like super surprising to you, even if someone else has warned you about this very thing being inevitable. Because a lot of people associate, well, at least on the left, a lot of people associate lefty politics with nice person. It's just not always true.
I would still be right. Their problem isn't with autistic people. Their problem is with the sun. Their problem is with the divine truth that I reflect just a tiny bit in their directions. It wouldn't matter whether or not I was autistic or not. They're just angry at the way the world is, and I am just a beacon of that. I could be anything, anyone. The only difference is that if I was black, they would call me racial slurs.
They would.
If I was trans, they would call me self-hating. If I was a woman, they would call me a pick-me. But because I'm a white man, they just have to settle for accusing me of being racist.
That was a good video. I liked that video a lot. I can see why you guys wanted me to watch it. I think we should do more of like reactions to like other lefty content creators that we're friends with. We do it with Shark's videos and we did it with Keffel's video. I feel like we should like create a cycle, like a circle of reaction content. No, not like that, but I do think that that occasionally giving my thoughts on what's going on in other like content creator spheres that I'm friends with is a good idea, considering, I mean, we are friends, and I do want to create sort of a community of content creators on the left that do like lefty content that aren't insane and like purity testy, that are like chill with each other and can vibe. And I think a huge part of that is branching out and also like sending support to your friends, right? I think you guys could probably notice that generally when my friends in the content creation space are getting on, like for nothing especially, I come out to like give my thoughts on it and like clear the air because I worry that like some amount of my audience is going to believe lies about somebody that I'm friends with, right? Like I feel like it's sort of like naturally you kind of want to like clear the air about things like that, right? But yeah, I think the video was good. I like it. If you guys want me to react to more of like Sharks and Vaush's and Keffel's stuff and Demon Mama's stuff and like give my thoughts on it, then yeah, you guys just send that stuff my way, I guess. You guys can tell me in the comments if you enjoyed it.